What's going on there? I don't see consistency in standards and demanding the same accountability from people in the same position.
The structure, isn't it? The structure under which Zebo worked was different from what Ogum is working under. Under Zebo, rules were clearly defined. We had a management team led by Nana and Ponsa, so they could take those decisions. And the current interim management committee, of which, by the way, the coach, who is supposed to be reporting to them as part of, it's a different structure altogether. And remember when that committee was formed, it was on the other set on Sports Zone that I said that there needs to be a certain time frame. I get it, that is emergency. So what you want to do is put things in place and then you exit, you get a proper structure in place to take over. But there were no timelines to what that emergency management committee was going to do. And I always thought that was going to be a problem. And for now, it doesn't even look like it's emergency. It looks like it's the mainstay.
I don't even think there were clear targets.
Yeah, and there is that as well.
Because, for example, and just to feed into what you said, Ogum has no contract.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which defines, for example, what his targets are,
KPIs
or the duration.
Yeah.
Yes, no key performance index.
No expectations of him this season. So it was, for me, people keep beating about the bush, running around the circles, but the fundamental problem with Kotoko that we've seen post Dani and Ponsa has got to be under what structure they are working this season, and it's been disastrous. Ogum is a good coach. We saw him 2 seasons ago in Wafa, 3 seasons ago in Wafa, finishing 3rd, only behind Hatsofuku, who won the league, and Kotoko, who came in 2nd. The season that followed, he was in Kotoko, he won the league for them. So that he can't be overnight turned into a terrible manager. But there are things at the club that is not working. And for him, who has to focus on being a coach, he perhaps is now occupied with too many other things that he shouldn't be venturing into.
DK, what has to happen now? Because how do they arrest this situation? Clearly, the league title is out. They're also out of the FA Cup. So, quite simply, what's the motivation for the rest of the season? Because there's still 8 games to the end.
To be honest, I perfectly agree with Karim Zito, who says they should forget about this season. It's done.
I think Karim Zito himself doesn't even understand the reality. They forgot about the league a long time ago.
Look, point is, I don't think Kotoko is going to be relegated. And in the Ghana Premier League, whether the top 4 really doesn't mean anything. You're not going to win the league. You're obviously not going to win the FA Cup because you're out. This season is done and dusted. Citro has said this about the structure. And for me, it doesn't speak of a club that really cares about what is going on. For me, whoever is in charge of putting the structure together, whoever is in charge of dissolving it and getting back to a properly run football club, doesn't seem to be applying a bit of urgency. Because for me, just 2 seasons ago, we saw what a properly run football club can do in Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Under the management of Nana Ponsa, when Ogum was head coach, things were done well, and we saw results on the football pitch. That's what every organization wants. Obviously, there will be things behind the scenes, there will be petty squabbles here, and it happens everywhere. But the main focus of a football club is to have success on the pitch, and that's what we saw during that time. Then things happened that had to be dissolved. But I thought that this IMC would come in a couple of months, quickly structure things and leave. The fact that they are still here with Ogum seriously underperforming, because look, 7 defeats, it's terrible.
This is a terrible run. We have to admit.
This is what will get a team that is even bottom of the league fired. Even a team that expects to be in a relegation fight will be firing their manager if they are doing this.
But have the players
I think
also checked out?
Kotoko have the worst form of any team in the Premier League, and no team has lost 6 of their last 7.
It's not possible. But again, I'm wondering if the players have checked out. If you play for a club like Kotoko, at the start of the season, you are straight away thinking about winning or competing. So the fact that with 10 games to go, they are not in contention, have they checked out? They are not in FA Cup, obviously they are not in Africa, they were not there, and they don't win the league. So psychologically, when you play for a club like Kotoko, have they checked out?
Look, for me, frankly speaking, at least when you try and put yourself in the player's shoes, okay? After the first 2-3 defeats, you look at it mathematically, if something changes, there's still a possibility of going on to compete for the league title. But if my bosses don't seem to be doing anything about it, the coach is repeating the same mistakes, we are still losing games. Obviously, he doesn't look like he's serious about winning football games, so why should I? And as you've mentioned, the ambition is up there at the start of the season. They get to a point, he goes home, he takes a shower, he's asking himself, I'm not going to win the league, so why should I go and be putting in tackles? Look at the goals that lad was conceding yesterday. Such poor
Terrible.
keeping. It's almost like it's a comedy show.
This is Kotoko. The standards are falling so bad.
But on the flip side, credit to Dreams because they needed to win to boost confidence, morale, and good momentum for them going into the game against Zamalek. So they would really much have taken this game as one big preparation for them. Get a win, let them come feel good, pick some momentum and go into Africa. Congratulations to them.